Good evening, Wolf Nation. This is your captain speaking. My friends, if you weren't aware, it is Friday night, and you know what that means. Your weekend has officially started. Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of The Realm Hatton Project. My name is Eric von Wolfenstein, and we are short one man tonight. Joe is, I don't know what Joe's doing tonight, but I'm sure he's annoying someone while he's doing it. But that's okay. What?
He working, he said. He had to work tonight.
He's annoying people at work. I stand by my comment. But that's all right. We got EE Prime. We got Gord. We got myself. And we're here for you to do a show and hopefully entertain you. So how's everyone doing? How was your week, EE Prime?
Busy. Very busy. Work. Very, very busy.
Yeah. Do you have any fun coworker stories you want to share with us?
No, not at all.
Perhaps talk about a Gundam rewatch?
Not at all. I don't know. Not on air.
I wish some of you guys were in the group chat. You can hear all these fun things. Hey, Gort, I know what's going on with you. You kind of let loose on me in the pre-show. How are you doing?
I'm trying not to let loose further. I'm doing good.
Someone's heavy breathing. Good. Anything else? Good that what happened this week? Not bad.
Trying to think if I have any good work stories. but no.
No, it's all right. Okay, well, before we get started, I want to just do a quick public service announcement. If you work for a delivery service and you, instead of walking your package to the front door like you normally should, if you stop about 25, 30 feet from the door and you toss the package, I just want you to know that I hate you. I hate you, and I hope you get hit with a crowbar. You don't know what I have in that package. I could have something from X-Transbots in that package. I already got enough to worry about breaking without you helping. So just stop it. That's my public service announcement. Anyway, we're going to talk about some things tonight. We each have a topic we're going to bring to the table. I don't know what EE is going to talk about, but I have an idea what Gort's going to talk about, so we'll start with him. Gort, what you want to talk about tonight, bud?
I wanted to talk about our influences growing up, like what got us into the things that we're into, the things that we're passionate about. And more in particular, it would be, I think, for a lot of us, who, because you're introduced to a lot of things, people you come across, family, neighbors, blah, blah, blah. And I would start off with, so my mom's youngest brother, my uncle, there was a 10-year age gap between them. So he's 13 years older than me. And he was more like a big brother to me growing up, for a good chunk. And he got me into a ton of things. But one of the things, and it's where I will lead with, I remember he went away to college when I was a little kid, like 4 or 5, and then he had come back. He was always coming back, and he'd have like small stuff for me, or like, he always brought like some kind of gift every time he came back for like his, winter breaks and summer and all that stuff. But I remember the one year he came back, and he brought back, for me at the time, the absolute biggest Lego set I'd ever seen. Definitely the biggest one I owned up to that point. And that was the Deep Freeze Defender from the Ice Planet series.
I remember that. That's a cool piece.
This thing was fucking incredible. And I already liked Lego, and I had a lot of blocks. I had castle sets. I grew up playing with all his stuff. I used to go over to my grandma's house. He was there. And, I grew up playing Atari with him, and Star Wars figures, G.I. Joes, and he had all the Lego castles and like pirate stuff and, just various things. But I remember when he brought this home for me, that was incredible. Like, and so this thing, the two, like the orange windowed pods in the front there, they would detach. So you had like 2 ships with skis, and then the midsection and then the larger back section, they would split apart. You have the little ship there. You had like the striping on the back end there. That was a sliding door, so the little ship could go in there. The middle portion, that would flip open. There was a giant missile in there, but basically the whole thing would come apart. It was modular. I took this thing apart and rebuilt it a ton of times, and I don't remember really. I remember building with like the basic blocks, but if I like the couple small sets that I had, I just kind of left them be. But this was the set that I took apart a shitload of times and kept putting it back together. And as I got more sets, I used to just put them all together. I would start combining and making giant things, and like that was my passion for building things. And I, you know, I owe a lot of that to my uncle. But just the same, all the Star Wars and everything else that I was more or less exposed to, and you know, carry with me to this day, maybe to my detriment in terms of Star Wars, at least. So I'm not happy with where it is or going, but that's, you know, just to start it off. Like I got a lot of other examples and things to talk about, but what about you guys?
This is gonna sound fucked up, but I'm gonna say nobody. Like I didn't have an older sister who was into anything to introduce me to anything that I was into. No uncles, no cousins, no not. It was all everything I was into. I got into on my own from whatever I saw on TV, cartoons, toys I got under the tree. That's how it all would start for Christmas and stuff. So yeah, I can't say I have any store. I can't. What? No, sports would be the only thing. My father and my
Maybe.
sports teams.
Yeah.
That would be it.
No,
Watch it. But I mean, that's it.
qualified.
That's all I
Like,
have. Like that is
Yeah.
all I have. You know, things that were that would have been interest that would have influenced me at that age in my type of family. I can't mention online.
Let me ask it a different way.
So
Let me ask it a slightly different way. So it's like I already had Lego. Like I was into it, but like it expanded and became like a different fascination when you discover something so obscenely awesome. Like I love that ship. You know, sports I think are, you know, very much like, you know, right in line with it, and like, you know, the teams that you're gonna like, and that becomes, you know, family oriented and generational, I think, for a lot of people. But the other thing that I would bring up, and because it comes into play here, the things that you love that maybe you didn't have yet. Like if you were watching, I don't, you'd have to tell us. I'm just using an example because I know if Masters of the Universe is one of your big things, but the first figure that you got, like that experience, because like it only grows from there.
I
Like,
can't.
you know?
So I've thought back on this as I've heard stories with you guys over the years. I can't tell you what my first Motu figure was and when I got it. I have no recollection. I believe my first Optimus Prime was a Christmas present, but I don't even remember if he was my first Transformer.
What's the first Transformer that you definitely remember getting? Like 100%, you remember that well.
That I remember really well would be the Power Master Optimus Prime, and that was not my first Transformer.
No,
but I just remember getting that because my grandmother gave it to me. It's one of those things where I know my mother was like, "Here, this is what you're gonna give him for Christmas this year," because I know my grandmother did not. Same thing with the Turn Your Playset. I know my grandmother did not go out and pick an Turn Your Playset. But yeah, so like a lot of that, for some reason I don't remember a lot. I don't remember a lot of that shit. It's all fuzzy, hazy memories. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't fucking know. Maybe I have childhood trauma that I fucking suppressed. Who the fuck knows? But I don't have a lot of these memories that people say, "Oh, I remember when I got my first Optimus Prime," and I wish I did. I know I had one. I remember breaking it. I remember my father fixing it, but I can't tell you where. I can't remember where I first got it.
Is there any like toy or, you know, something of that nature that you got that was your first time knowing about something, like discovering something like a toy line or property you didn't even know existed?
Well, I'm pretty sure Inhumanoids is one of them. Dino Riders. I never watched Dino Riders on TV. I never
Okay.
watched Inhumanoids on TV. I never watched those cartoons. But I had to. I had them, so it was definitely the toys. There, it was the toys that influenced that. But yeah, I'm like, you're not gonna get much out of me from this, this conversation. Maybe I'm just getting that fucking old. I can't remember shit anymore. I don't fucking know.
All right, Wolfie, let's pass it over to you, and maybe you think of something, or like I'm
Well, I
curious
mean,
if,
like
a
I said, like
memory
I
or anything might
remember.
click, you know?
So I was 8 years old when I started watching baseball, and I remember
Yeah.
watching the Mets win the '86 World Series, right, with my father in the living room. So like that's how I became a baseball fan. You know, watching that year in '86, watching games and just being around everybody, watching games. Right. So that's sports. Like that's where my sports teams came from. You know, my love of sports came from my father. Right. He was the influence of that. Knicks, Giants, Mets, Rangers.
Didn't they win it all in '86? I'm sorry.
That's what I. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said. '86 World Series. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I missed you said that.
Yeah, I was 8 years old. Yep.
Okay. I'm a lot like ye. Like I don't remember the first Transformer I got. I think I know why I got into it.
It doesn't have to be Transformers. Could
No,
be
I
anything.
know. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of obvious things here. I know that I used to be babysat in the summertime by this family, and the one kid was a couple years older than me. This was probably back in '85, and I know he was huge into Transformers. Like I know he had the toys, and he was into the comics too, the Marvel comics. Like actually, I remember the issue where Optimus Prime and not Optimus Prime, but Megatron and Ratchet fused together. He had that
wild cover.
Yeah, he had that issue. That stuck with me all these years for some reason. I don't know why.
You know,
I would say. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I would. I imagine he would have got me into it, and then I probably would have watched the cartoon from there. Toys followed. What was my first? I don't know. I mean, probably Prime. I don't remember getting it. I don't know if it was a birthday present or Christmas present. I wish I could remember more. I know that's how I got into Transformers. There were other things that I liked that I think the neighbor kids got me into. So back then I didn't get home from school until like around 4:00. It was like around it was like an hour drive from school, the bus ride 3:00, and I think that's the time in between then like Thundercats came on maybe, and I didn't know about Thundercats until like I went over to his house and saw his toys, and I thought, oh wow, this is cool. And like every once in a while when I was off on a particular day, I would get to watch the show. I unfortunately did not have any of those toys, but I did play with his, and they were a lot of fun. I think that's how I remember that going. God, yeah, I'm like I'm old too. I'm trying to like remember the best I can here. So apologies if my answers aren't wonderful, but I don't know. What else you got?
What else? Let me help you out a little bit. So, like you had mentioned the comics. Like, do you remember what your first comic book ever might have been? Either of you?
Oh yeah.
No. I'm pretty sure it was X-Men. I know I started comics not maybe around 10, 11 years old.
Uh-huh.
I believe it was X-Men. And I know I had a fair amount of X-Men. I had some Transformers comics, and I was buying Spider-Man comics at the time also when I was young through high school. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was an X-Men, and I think I might remember which issue it was. Let me see if I can find a picture.
I can tell you that I had random issues of who knows what, just like newsstand junk.
Mhm.
Not necessarily like not Marvel or DC, like nothing big title or publisher rather. But one of the first ones that I remember having was Batman Year One, which, yeah, as like a little kid, like that really wasn't a book, a title for a kid, but I read it, uh, many times, and I don't know, like that was I think that was one of my mom's friends from that she had known through high school, had gotten that one for me. I'm not actually 100% on that, but that was like my big exposure to Batman outside of like the Keaton movie or watching Adam West on TV. And from that point on, like the first time that I remember going into a store and seeing something like, oh, I need this. Like there used to be a place, the Zap Comics still exists in Jersey, but they used to have a location in the mall down in Freehold before they moved it out. And that's the comic store that I kind of remember being in, very early on, the best. And when Dark Horse had the Star Wars license, they had the Dark Empire series. That was one of the first things they're doing. But they were also reprinting old Marvel stuff and just adaptations from the movies, not necessarily like they had it under the classic Star Wars title. They had a couple issues in like small graphic novels for classic story arcs. But I saw the Empire Strikes Back comic book. That's just what happened to be on there, and they had 2 issues. It wasn't a graphic novel; it was just split up that way. But my grandmother picked up both of those for me, and that's the first like comics I remember being like, I want that one in the store. And then it jumped right into like the Dark Empire and soon Tales of the Jedi and all that stuff. And Dark Horse, kept me going. And then it turns into Marvel and DC stuff and Batman vs Predator. That looks pretty cool. And you start picking up like kind of fun stuff. And I got into Valiant Comics, which short-lived that they were at the time. And but that just brings me up to now. I just kind of continued with that for a long time. Marvel Civil War is what got me out of comics. Like that was one of the worst crossover events as far as publishing went, and I couldn't stand it. Everything was always late and out of order, and so many titles to get the full story. Fuck that.
Right.
As much as getting into something, there's also the opposite. What got you out of something? And I still read some comics, but I haven't bought a comic in a long time.
E, did you find the cover you're looking for?
No, I can't. No.
All right. Well, I'll continue my story here.
Yeah.
Comic book wise, so this was back in 1992. Obviously, the big event of that time was the death of Superman, right? Superman number 75. That was a huge deal. I had heard about it.
I remember that.
Yeah, I wasn't collecting. I just heard about it. I did find a copy, and I read it just because I just want to see what was going on, how they were doing this, because it was a huge deal. I wasn't a comic book guy before that, but I still wanted to know. And shortly after that, my Adventures of Superman 500 came out, and that was the return of whatever, the beginning of the reign of the Superman storyline. And I remember my mother bought me that just because she wanted me to have the finish the story, quote unquote. But I had those 2 issues, but I didn't start collecting regularly. There was a movie I think I saw shortly after. I think it was it The Outsiders, the one with Kiefer Sutherland? The vampire movie.
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys, excuse me, not Outsiders, Lost Boys. And there was a scene where they were in a comic book store, and I don't know why that just grabbed me for some reason. I remember a few weeks later going into Walden Books, showing my age there with that one. I went to the comic rack, and there was just some, Superman books. Like we were smack dab in the middle of the reign of the Superman storyline, and I picked up Action Comics 689 on a whim. I read it. Again, we're right in the middle of the story. I have no idea who these people are. There was a Superboy Steel. There's a Cyborg Superman, this Eradicator. I don't know any of these people. But for some reason, from then on, I just kept going. I wanted to read more. I got the following issue that there were 4 Superman books being put out at that time. There was Action Comics, Man of Steel, Adventures of Superman, and the regular Superman book, and I was loving it. And of course, in those books, you saw advertisements for other books, right? So I remember the one that really caught my attention was a Batman book, and it was the I think Batman 497. It was the one very famous cover. It's the one with Bane, like super huge, cracking his back, and, breaking him in half and whatnot. That was the issue that caught my attention, and that was again in the middle of another storyline. What was that called? Nightfall. And I got into that, and again, I don't know who these people are, but it just stuck with me for some reason. It kept going, and I expanded more and more. I got into Green Lantern, the Justice League, Flash, Wonder Woman, and I was, I loved it. And I wasn't much of a Marvel kid growing up. I loved the cartoons. Obviously, X-Men, Spider-Man were 2 of my favorites growing up. I read some books later on, but that's how I got into comics. I was a DC guy, and that was, like I said, Action Comics 689 was my drug, my welcoming drug.
I think that the cartoons too for Marvel in particular, that's a lot of people's like jumping on point, or caught the interest.
Yeah, that's how I learned about X-Men.
Yeah.
I don't think I was aware of them before that, to be honest.
Yeah, like I had started watching X-Men and like buying the cards and stuff around that time, and so we had moved, and then there was a brand new comic store that had just opened up, Funny Books, and the guy in there, he was trying to get me into like X-Men and stuff. He got me hooked on all kinds of shit. But they had the Essential line for Marvel, and they were these giant, they look like phone books to me. That's how I remember it in my head. But I was a kid, and they were newsprint, black and white reprints of everything, and there'd be like 20-30 issues or something like that in there. And I read a large stretch of the Uncanny X-Men that way, starting from Giant Size 1. And because because there was no color, if the character wasn't on the cover, I didn't know what color they should be. And I remember when I a while later saw Banshee was like green and yellow. I was like, ugh, the fuck. Like there was like random surprises for me, because that's how I was reading some of that stuff, black and white. I don't know.
You said you had the cards. Are you talking about like trading cards, the X-Men trading cards?
Yeah.
I
would try to like get packs of that. I never had like a full set of any of those though.
I think I still have that full set. That was once I started watching X-Men, I bought the whole thing for some reason, and I just remember going through that and go, who are these people? I don't remember these guys being in the cartoon. Like what's a Mojo?
Are you talking about X-Men cards or the Marvel cards in general?
X-Men cards. They were specific X-Men cards.
The X-Men series. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're downstairs. I think I brought them home. Yeah. That was my expanded world of X-Men.
I have a full base set of Series 2 of the X-Men still. I did collect X-Men 1. I did do the Marvel cards, which started in 1990, I believe. And X-Men was 90. Anime series was what, 82, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was already 14. Yeah, I was already 14 years old when the animated series started. So that was high school, and interests were starting to gear towards other things at that time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I wish I remember where I discovered X-Men, because I know I had already been collecting the cards when they first came out. Like that was a big thing when I was a kid. Now I think about it, I remember the Friday the 13th cards, the Batman sticker book cards, and all that nonsense that we used to do in elementary school.
Garbage Pail Kids.
Mm-hmm. Garbage Pail Kids, and we weren't fighting in stores like they are for Pokemon cards now back then. But yeah, no. I wish I remembered.
I had a bunch of those cards for DC. They did a few series of those. Oh, I
didn't even know they did DC cards.
Yeah, they did. They did a couple series of them. Yeah, I love those. Oh, I wish I still had those. I think I threw those out, unfortunately, but the X-Men are still in my house. Yeah, lost a lot of things recently, but you know, I always had the memories.
Yeah.
You hope.
I hope anyway. I mean, God, I can't remember my first Transformer. So, oh man, yeah.
I
don't
can tell
know.
you the first Transformer that I picked out in the store,
What's
that
that?
I
Which one?
remember picking out in the store. I had Transformers, be it, I don't know if they were hand-me-downs or whatever, but like I had like tail end G1 stuff. But the first one that I remember picking out in the store, like I want that one, was G2 Starscream.
Okay. I remember. Yeah. God, did I pick?
And
I don't-
second one was Grimlock. And and that was the gray one. It wasn't the blue one.
I remember being in Children's Palace looking at these things. I know I walked out with things. I don't remember what though. Really wish I could remember. God, that's so vague back then. God damn it. I don't know.
I have all kinds of fuzzy memories being in the store, picking up like
Mhm.
Ghostbusters and things and getting those. I remember like vaguely like when they did the Universal Monsters and like Dracula and the Mummy and those. I remember having those and I remember seeing them on the shelf, but I don't know if that's all like the same day I got any of that stuff. But I just remember like all those purple Ghostbusters cards like on a wall and like a KB or whatever it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good times.
I remember the first video game I bought for myself.
Oh, cool. What's that?
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Nice.
Yeah, that was back in Toys R Us, back when you pulled the little thing, the slip off. You know, you take the thing, whatever. But I was put on a waiting list, and I remember they called me. My mom answered the phone. She said, "Oh, hold on, it's right here." And the lady said, "Eric, it's in stock," and I was super excited. We went down, and yeah, I picked it up. That was my first. I remember that very vividly.
I have no idea what my first video game was.
First video game that I played was probably fucking Defender on the old Atari, whatever, 2500, maybe.
Fender?
First Defender,
Oh, Defender. Okay.
Defender, or Centipede, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
Missile
I can tell you
Command.
the first ones I remember playing, but like I definitely don't know the first one that I bought. But like you
First
got
one
Atari. Yeah.
I bought with my money might have been Super Ghouls, and I think it was Super Ghouls and Ghosts, that I actually spent any money that I owned on.
I think the first Atari game I ever bought was Pigs in Space. You remember that one?
No.
No.
It was a Muppet game. I don't know. It was based on the Muppet thing. I barely remember. I remember the title. That's it. And the cartridge.
And that came out in like 92, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. So I was like 14 when I actually gave up my own money for a video game.
Oh yeah. I remember that. God, I remember when the Super Nintendo came out.
That was for the Super Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah, I remember all that. Super this, super that, Super Ghosts and Ghouls.
I'm trying to think about it, and it could be like Mortal Kombat trilogy or something on N64. I'm trying like. So I remember getting it, and like that's around the time that I was buying like my things, right? I'm not sure. That one's it's a lot harder to think about.
Yeah, see, you can relate.
Yeah,
You can relate to our
So
problem.
maybe I'll say video games came from my parents, because they used to play the Atari video games
okay.
and things like that. And I had a Nintendo. I had a Sega Master System. I don't know if you guys remember that one. That actually even had a little card slot and a cartridge slot,
Okay.
like the very, very first Sega.
Sega.
Super Nintendo, yeah, Sega Genesis, Sega CD. We had those. So, like that, I remember playing Mario Brothers with my mother.
We had an Atari for a long time. I think even before I was born. I remember being exposed to Nintendo for the first time. I think it was at my buddy's house. When he had the Mario Brothers game. And the first Nintendo we got that following year, it was the triple pack. It was Mario 1, Duck Hunt, and remember the Power Pad, that accessory?
Yep.
Yeah, it was World Track Meet. That was my first Nintendo and my first game. I remember that. Back when Nintendos came with games. You know, unlike now, where you gotta buy it
Download.
separately. Yeah.
You get the download code,
Oh,
maybe.
God damn it. Now I'm depressed, Gort. Back in my day.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, definitely the neighbor kid. That's who exposed me to Nintendo.
And we're talking about a lot of stuff that happened when we were kids, but figure as an adult, like college age or now, there's definitely things that you have to have gotten into by your friends or whoever you're acquainted with that have stuck with you. Like, is there anything you can think of like that?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question? I was doing something.
I'm asking. It's basically the same question, but like
yes,
in your
Jedi.
adult
I had
life-
that.
in your adult life, not as a child.
Yes.
I feel like
Something that-
when you're like college age figure, like that's when you're exposed to stuff just as much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Drinking?
Sure. Why shouldn't that count?
And no, I can't even say that came from my friends in college. No, I was exposed to that probably through family also. A lot of drinkers, to be heavy drinkers in my family, to be honest. So when I was a kid, so I saw a lot.
Yeah, being exposed to something in that age, nothing stands out. If I'm being honest. Like, I really wasn't much of a collector back then.
Same. I wasn't a collector. I did normal, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I was still playing video games, but like at that point, I knew what was.
Oh, the
coming.
video games never
Yeah.
stopped for me.
Yeah.
I never stopped
Yeah.
playing video games.
Yeah, like no
That
one
has
got
never
me into that
stopped.
afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, I had never stopped playing video games. Maybe certain games you pick up from friends, like, oh, have you tried this or play that, or let's play this one. Come to the house. Oh, I want this game now because my friend had it and I didn't have it. But the actual, yeah, that's hard because again, things that kids around me influenced at that time, like going to high school or even towards the later years of elementary school, 7th grade, 8th grade, weren't
I mean, the
show
only thing
appropriate
yeah,
to talk about again. Like, I
Yeah.
was an inner city kid, surrounded by kids from the inner city. So
Yeah, there
take that
was,
as what you will. Like, like I got high for the first time at 14, smoked my first blunt. Didn't stick with me. I stopped. But I mean, yeah, like that was my environment outside of home.
Mhm.
Like those are the type of people I was around. Kids like that, just because it's nature where I grew up.
Yeah, I think around that age, I think I was more exposed to like music at that time. People, friends getting me into certain bands or genres at that time. Definitely not toys. If that's interesting.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe music too.
I don't mean for this to be limited to toys. I mean.
No, yeah, but I'm
No, I
just
get
What's
it.
like something that like really matters to you that has stuck with you? That's really all it is.
see. But again, like I can't see. I can't say that. Maybe music.
Mhm.
Maybe getting into hip hop once I got into high school. Really. Maybe that's it. Maybe I could go with that. Hip hop, rap.
God, my first
They
exposure.
weren't listening to my parents were not listening to hip hop or rap at home. So maybe that type of music genre, but it's I don't know, it's a hard question.
My first exposure to hip hop was a song called "Automobile" by NWA. You remember that one?
Yeah.
That came out, I think, in like '92. I remember they used to sing it on the playground. Like we're all 12 years old singing that. That was my first exposure to that stuff. Oh God.
I think I
Ghetto
know.
Boys.
I remember Ghetto Boys.
Yeah, I remember being exposed to a lot of rap in the '90s. I do. Rap was a different game back then. I don't know. What about you, Gordon? Anything in your that age?
Oh man, I feel like everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's like all kinds of terrible drinking and blah blah blah. But the like say like game standpoint, started doing a lot of like tabletop stuff and you know, all the LAN gaming that we had in in the dorms at college. Like just the ability, because everything was on that network, and all the multiplayer games that you can do, you know, be it PC or Xbox or otherwise, and it was fun.
Mhm.
Halo in particular, like I think Halo's kind of trash at this point. They've not done a good job maintaining that brand across the board, I think.
Infinite was fun. Campaign at
It-
least.
Yeah, no, I did play Infinite. It's not a fun game. It's just from like a storyline or like narrative perspective. It's just why bother? They, it's low effort. Is the best way to put it. Because like that storyline, I feel like that was really integral to the success of Halo, not just the multiplayer.
Yeah.
But we used to sit there and we would beat the campaigns on Legendary like every day. You know, we were doing different levels, and then you just do it again. I remember when Halo, not even jump ahead, but like Halo 1, because that was not part of Xbox Live at the time. That's what we were doing on the network, and I don't know, like you get these games with like 12 people in the building just murdering each other. It was awesome.
Not to sidetrack, but yeah, I do sort Halo 1. Me and my friend sat in his house for, I think we played the Legendary campaign. It took us about 20 hours straight, front to back. We just did not stop. From when he first got the game, he's like, "Come down." We lived in the same building. I was like, "Mom, I'm going downstairs. I'm spending the night at Xavier's house." Okay, let me call his grandmother to make sure, because she wanted to make sure I wasn't lying where I was going, and make sure it was okay. And she would call, or yeah, all right. We sat. It was like 20 hours straight. Did not sleep. Ate and just played until we beat it.
Yep.
I remember my first exposure to anime, which is something that still sticks with me. Remember Vampire Hunter D?
It was my first anime I ever watched. Also, that was my first one.
It's funny that you mentioned that. There's some third party company of some sort is doing a D. I was actually just having some back and forth on that. So
okay,
yeah, like minutes ago, I was getting a message about it. This is pre-orders for it.
First cartoon I saw that wasn't for kids.
This. Yeah, I remember that. And then I think shortly after I was watching stuff like on Toonami or Adult Swim, like the shows I used to play on that. That's definitely stuck with me. Japanese culture, I would say that was my beginning.
It didn't grab me into the culture. I mean, I remember that movie fondly.
Yeah.
I watched it several times, but I can't say I ever got into anime or anything like that.
Like mid 90s, I got into anime. Like there was definitely a boom. We used to have a store over in in Clifton, New Jersey, the Outer Limits, and they had a lot of it's just fan sub. Fan subs are people adding subtitles to the Japanese audio, and it was all bootleg tapes. It was a lot of Dragon Ball Z, among other things, and that's how we were buying those. Like me and all my friends, and that's how we were watching stuff. So I had watched through a good chunk of that series and other things that way. And there were like some bad dub tapes from all kinds of series. People with like older siblings, like we were watching all their stuff. But anime stuck with me going into college until I met this kid who unfortunately had to be my roommate, Kung Fu Casey, also known as Sensei Bitch Tits. And I could do multiple shows telling you guys stories about this guy, but all you need to know is he was a dirtbag, and he made me hate things. It took me a while to actually realize this. I had moved away from anime and Street Fighter and Gundam and like Mega Man and like a lot of Capcom stuff in particular. I got away from wanting to have anything to do with it, and it was all that guy. And I didn't realize that until last year when I got big into doing the Gundam kits. It just kind of came back to me, like I just wanted to do it. I was seeing it more and more in like my feeds, and I was like, I had that itch, and I bought one. I was like, this is fun. And then talking with somebody, and I remembered, I was like, fuck this guy. That guy made me hate this shit in college because he himself was just such a scuzz. He had he had the ponytail and the soul patch and the mutton chops, and he had this green camo jacket, and he was an art student, and he painted all like little chibi anime characters and all kinds of sayings and like kanji shit all over it, and he used to wear that around campus, and he looked like such a turd. He just having to be associated with him bothered me.
I'm sure
there's more to it than that. Like he's Kung Fu Casey because he would he I have video of him doing the kung fu, and I would love to show that to anybody one day. That'll be an in-person thing. I am not sharing that.
that'll be on our Patreon next month.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it would be worth it too. This kid at his kung fu teacher's house with like Limp Bizkit and shit playing in the background. It's amazing footage.
Please show me that one day. Please.
I 100% will. But this guy, like, anyway, he would go up in the levels as he was learning more or whatever, and he had like the colored sashes and stuff. But in terms of martial arts, like, that's just like a sign of like what level you're at and all that. But like there is a respect towards martial arts, I find, that he didn't have, because he used to just wear this around campus. He always had his sash on, like he's very proud of it. And I always found that very disrespectful. And I don't want to be stuck on him, but I will end with my favorite story about him. And anybody that knows Naruto, or if you just know the character designs, I don't know the show, I didn't watch it, but the character designs, the guy has a headband on with like a metal plate on it, and he bought one, and he used to wear that around campus. And I remember this girl that used to buy liquor from me came into the room. She's there for a pickup, and she sees this sitting on his desk. He's playing like Mega Man or something on, and she's like, "Ooh, is this that headband everybody's been telling me about?" And she picked it up. Immediately he turns, yanks it out of her hands. "You're getting fingerprints on it." And he started cleaning it off with his t-shirt. I was like, man, what an asshole.
I knew a guy like that, Gord. Like you're saying that he made you hate stuff.
Yeah.
There was a guy who made me hate tabletop gaming.
Oh no.
So my friends were really into this, and and it sounded kind of fun, and I wanted to try it. So it's my first time there with their group, and my buddy's trying to run this campaign or whatever you call it. And this kid was the most annoying human I've ever been around. Like he thought he was so funny, like, and he was always making jokes that he would just say something that, and he would do this the whole time. And he was just so goddamn annoying. And I'm like, I never want to do this again. I never want to do this again. I never want to sit with this kid again. Fuck this. I found out later he was like a huge racist later on. Like, oh, but yeah, I knew guys like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to be clear, it's never going to be about the stuff he liked. It was how he conducted himself. It was just this guy, his behavior. I didn't like him, and all these things I had associated to him. And I just, like I said, it took me like almost 20 years to realize what my problem was with a lot of stuff. Because another thing, as these Street Fighter figures have been coming out, I think they look great, and I wasn't buying it. I was like, something about it makes me feel weird, and I realized it's just that dude. And once I kind of like figured it out, and I got around that, I got a big stack of that over there to open. I've been slowly going through those. They're really nice.
Nice. All right. If anyone doesn't have anything else to add, what did you want to talk about tonight, EE Prime?
Cat, just do you first.
Me? Okay.
Yes.
I had a couple ideas. I mean, obviously, there's the Star Wars news, Kathleen Kennedy, we could talk about, or the loyal subjects email that came out about the recent mask products. Any particular thing you guys want to discuss?
I didn't even know something came out, so enlighten me.
Oh, sure. Let me pull it up. So yeah, I think this came out yesterday, day before yesterday. I don't know. Let me pull it up. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Did I save it? That's not it. Okay, so Jonathan Cathy, I guess he is the owner of Loyal Subjects. And of course, if you aren't aware, Loyal Subjects have recently acquired a lot of licenses, Gem, My Pet Monster, and probably the biggest one out of all of that is Mask. And if you saw our show a few weeks ago, you will know that the Mask toys suck. And there's been a lot of arguments on Facebook groups about all this, and this guy finally came out with this really long letter. It's mostly a lot of corporate BS, so we stand behind our products and we're committed to doing that. But there was one paragraph that jumped out at me, and I will read it to you. He said, I also understand that we can't make everything perfect if perfect is an abstract. We've seen complaints for things that traditionally are extraordinarily minor, microscopic variations are not QC issues. The definition of QC is widely misunderstood and misdefined and are not materially denigrating the structural integrity of the item. I will absolutely stand by the great toys that we have made with high functionality, modularity, fun, and fantastic features, and some wow add-ons to amp up the fun and excitement. If you come to enjoy a fun, great experience for a decent price of admission, that's funny. That's what we are intending. If something is broken upon arrival, we'll replace it. But if there is a tiny dent on a box, or if one of the sticker/decal labels is 1 millimeter too long, these aren't QC issues or defects. A defect is material, i.e. the things falls apart when you open the box. Remember, a lot of those decal labels back in the day were too short. A little X-Acto expertise will solve that in a jiff. And then he goes on to say more corporate bullshit. Mm-hmm. So he's saying that fix it yourself, basically. That's what I got out of that. Is that what you guys got out of that?
I don't like it. I don't like the response at all.
I also don't like the response. He's picking the one minor thing, the stickers, okay? That's not the only thing that was wrong with these things. I've heard that the Switchblade, the wings don't hold back. The blade doesn't hold down. Obviously, we've talked about the Rhino and the smokestack, loose smokestacks. The ATV on the back doesn't connect very well. Stickers, obviously. Other gripes. And it's funny because he's like, well, he's giving the excuse that, well, they weren't that great back in the day either. Well, you know what else? What else is true? These things didn't cost $175 back in the day. So it's a bullshit excuse. This line's gonna fucking fail. I think they're gonna get one more wave. It's gonna have problems and it's gonna sink. What do you guys think about all this?
I mean, that's hard to say, but like we know that the next stuff is planned at least. So maybe depending on those sales, but if they've course corrected or fixed these basic issues like stickers fitting, that might be all it takes to keep people in. I don't know. I don't like the attitude of the message there.
No, it's more than stickers. Like
no, I know.
Like,
I'm saying if they've if they're actually listening and they're fixing things actively going forward, like they've maybe it was too late for these mistakes, yes, but if the next
why can't you just say that? Like it's like, yeah. All right, listen, we fucked up. Okay, you're right. We're gonna do better next time. The next wave is gonna be better. We're gonna make sure that our I's are dotted, whatever the fuck. But instead, you're like, well, you deal with it. It wasn't that bad. The original toys were just as bad. And again, like I said, the original toys aren't costing $100 and some. So I'm sorry for that price. You should expect better. I mean, if I'm wrong, please tell me. Roy agrees with me. What you think, EE? I hear you breathing over there.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not into masks. I didn't get them. Right.
Right.
I understand everyone's frustration with it. I really don't like his blah blah blah. What about response?
Mm-hmm.
Just sit there and say, hey, understand some people are upset. You want to say you stand by your product, that's fine. We will try and do better next time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, we're listening to the feedback. You know, we take your feedback seriously. You know, it's I don't know. I don't like it. Sounds like a fucking Ramen Toys response.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
I
a
mean,
little bit. Yeah.
yeah, it's like when Joe bought that Centurion and it couldn't hold the backpack, and they told him, "Well, don't use the backpack." That's exactly what it. That's exactly what it is. No, I agree. I don't like the tone of it. I think it's a bullshit response. You're going over a minor nitpick, the stickers, and it's more than 1 millimeter, by the way. Those were off pretty bad. Yeah, but you're making it sound like everyone's just bitching and complaining about just to complain, but it's not. These are bad products, and I'm sorry, you need to do better for what you're charging. I expect better. I think everyone expects better, and I don't think that's too unreasonable. I mean, how much should we spend on like GI Joe vehicles? Are there any problems with those? Like the Vamp, I didn't have any problem with the Vamp. I had no problem with the His Tank.
Yeah, no issues.
No. So I mean, it can be done. Don't give me your excuses, man. I think they did this wrong. I think they should have taken the designs and improved upon them. But that's just me. It's easy to play with other people's money.
Look, I'll give you an example. Missing Link, right?
Yeah.
You Missing Link stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're basically just here's what it's supposed to look exactly what you got 40 fucking years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But we still made improvements to it. Is what they should have done. And they didn't.
No argument. No argument. I think
that's giving Hasbro that credit that people don't like to give Hasbro sometimes, but I think this Missing Link line was genius. Seems to be working. I'm in now all of a sudden, which I didn't think I would be. But, you know, telling you, this is Ramen sending you instructions on how to fix the toy before you got it. Like that, I hate. Like that's what it is. Here's how you glue the fucking head back or whatever the fucking figure that was that had issues where they were telling people
how to use
yeah. So like, no apologies, no worse, no fixing. Here's how you fix it. Here's glue.
You're preaching to the choir. It's funny because I do see a lot of comments under the posts like this were like, well, they should have gave Ramen the license. And my immediate thought is, you're looking to get like one vehicle every couple of years.
Exactly.
Like, calm down.
You're gonna get the same type of customer service response, public response. That's the thing. It's not going to be any different. You're going to get the same response. And what's disappointing about not only how underwhelming this first wave was for fans, this response is also very disappointing. Like I want Loyal Subjects to succeed because they're starting to touch and buy these 80s properties.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, like, I mean, it's a long shot. You people who listen and been around me long enough, you know, they seem to be the only company I might be able to, that someone might bring back in humanoids, right?
We talked to him about that. Yeah, remember?
You know, exactly. So, like, I want them to succeed and I want them to be good. You know, I know Gort said no, that I don't think he'd buy them, but if someone came back with Dino Riders, I'd go in at least on the T-Rex, right? Because I had it as a kid, right? And this is the type of company that seems to be doing that with Mask and Gem and the other, what is it? Strawberry Shortcake, I think they're doing too. So they've grabbed some of these older 80s properties and they're starting to try to relaunch them. So I want this company to do well. This is not a good look.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Especially when you come out with this kind of response, like,
yeah,
hey, you could get an X-Acto knife at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Problem solved.
Is that X-Acto knife going to fix the loose Mostek? No. Like, just stop it, man. I mean, I'm with you. But yeah, I think your analogy of the missing link is spot on. It's not like they just took they got the original toys with all their defects in them and just put an articulation. They redesigned those from the ground up.
You know,
again,
like
what they should have done.
I don't think people were expecting the defects that you got in the 80s to be coming now in 2025. You know, that's the thing. Like, you know, if I went and I hunted down a vintage Rhino, I expect to have those defects.
Yes.
I expect, especially this, even if it was new in box, sealed in box, I got a Rhino, right? You know, I remember, you know, I remember when I had this toy as a kid, you know, and this was wrong and this didn't work well. And you're not, you know what you're getting. Re-releasing it or redoing it. Yeah, no, like, I expect that at the very least to remove the defects.
No, 100%. I think, yeah, the consensus is this guy it was bad tone, bad taste. It wasn't the right response. And I'd be surprised if they succeed past wave 2. I really would be at this point. Unless they're fucking perfect, which I doubt. I don't expect this line to last long. So we'll see. Who knows?
You know, I don't need to have to start fighting with another toy company online and get banned from all their fucking, you know, their social media stuff. You know, I don't want to have another ramen on the list.
No, and we don't want you to, buddy. We want you. We all want them to succeed. We want to be happy. Like I don't have anything against them. I want them to do well because they're making something I want them to make. They're just making it badly.
Understand the criticisms that you're getting from your fucking consumer base.
So I'm gonna sidetrack here a little bit, E, because you caught my attention. Missing link. Going back to it, I know you like the Grimlock. Are you all in now? Like, what are you?
I am not all in. So because I just could not come up with anything for the wife to get me for Christmas this year, right?
Yeah.
I gave her the link to the Sunstreaker, the Bumblebee, and the Cliff Jumper, right?
Yeah.
I'm all in. I'm not spending that money. Like, this is not my money, so I'm fine with it. Like, I would never have bought the Sunstreaker on my own.
Yeah.
Unless it ever went on a big sale. Same thing. Like, I'll keep my eye on the Ultra Magnus. If it ever gets like a nice big 40% off sale, yeah, I'm not spending $200 on it. Not an Ultra Magnus. I will do all the Dinobots, without a doubt, if they make them all. And I believe supposedly, rumor is Soundwave is next.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a Soundwave. I would like to see how they would tackle a Megatron. But
yeah.
I'll spoil it for you. He's gonna be a tank.
No, it doesn't have to be. Remember, this is not being done by Hasbro. It's got all the Japanese writing on the boxes. Like, this does not have to. You can do this, and as an overseas release, we know where we get these things from anyway.
Yeah.
I bought mine from Shozi. The Grimlock. The Grimlock isn't even up for pre-order on Pulse.
Not yet.
Or BBTS or whatever. So
no. I would be very interested to see how they would do it Megatron, because that one was a weird one. Just like the legs were so bulky and his arms. Like I would hope they would do it like an original, not a tank, just because I want to see how they do it. But I don't know.
See, I think doing it as a tank is not what Missing Link is. Then it's not Missing Link.
No argument.
These are the G1 toys.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
I know the idea of the RC is cool, but that thing looks so fucking bad. It really fucking does.
Yeah, the reason I ask is I have the Prime with the trailer, and I keep going back to BBTS and looking at these things. I'm like, man, these are really, really cool. I do like this gimmick, and I was trying to stay away from it. And then that Grimlock came out, and that Grimlock, and I've said this before, and I will continue to say it. I think it's going to be their best one to date.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, it looks amazing, and I think it pulled me in. I have it on pre-order at a Japanese site, AmiAmi.
I did a Shozi for it.
Yeah, and I did and I got the Magnus on pre-order. Whether or not I keep it, we'll see, but I think I might be in. I mean, I sold a G1 collection 2 years ago. Now I'm getting to another one. What I will say about that one though is they're not going to go as deep as they did.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I actually have doubts that we'll get a full Dinobot team from them. To be totally honest, but I am praying that they do. Even if that's all you do, I'll be happy with that.
I would like to see that. That's definitely on my high up list.
Yeah.
For sure.
There'd be other things that like are you going to start tackling combiners? Like how deep are you really going to go? What is your plan for Missing Link? I wish we knew. I wish they were a little more upfront, telling us what their plans are.
It's pretty random so far. Yeah.
Yeah, RC, as ugly as that fucking toy looks right now, it makes beautiful sense to have done RC so soon, since she was never done, since we never got her as a G1 toy. Right.
So
brilliant.
Since they put her out, Brother Joseph, welcome to the show. Since they put her out, I've seen some posts about this, and I hope they follow through. Speaking of prototypes that never got past the development stage, there was a G1 Unicron prototype. Make it happen.
I think I've seen that, and no, I'm good.
I want it.
No, I'm good. I'm good on that one.
I'm just being selfish.
No, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. Omega Supreme, I would probably be in if they were able to do something like that.
I would be interested to see how they do the combiners. Speaking of, like, you're right, because they just bricks.
I feel like the combiners would probably be some kind of a middle ground between what they have and like the Zeta Mini.
So remember, the idea of Missing Link is not to change the look, right? So how do you do it without changing the look? I'm very curious. And how do you put it? Because these things are not cheap. Like this Grimlock is like $150, right? So there's a team of Devastator. That's 6 bots. Are you putting them out? Would you put them out in a box set? Would you put them out one by one? Yeah, they're not putting these things out prolifically. It's not like we're getting 15 a year or something.
I'll tell you exactly what Hasbro would do. They'd put one out with one that's not that popular, so that way you have to buy both and they can double their money. That's exactly what they do.
Well, look, if you're doing a
I've seen those 4-packs, Joe. I know what you're talking about.
Hasbro, this is Takara. We're talking Missing Link. You know, you put them in 2-packs, sure, right? I don't know. I'm just curious as to what their real plans are, if they have any plans beyond maybe a handful, right?
You know, combiners are also interesting because again, you're making not only you're making like the combiner articulate, you're making the smaller bots articulate as well.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of those were smaller. Like the Constructicons weren't that big; they were smaller
No,
than a
they were
lot.
small,
So
yeah.
I'm curious if they would do that.
What would you
Well,
rather?
they did it with Bumblebee. They did it with Bumblebee. They did
That's
it with
true. That's
Cliffjumper.
true.
They
That
made
is
them.
true.
They gave them articulation.
Yeah. Good.
So
Joe.
what would you rather
These are mini
have?
bots.
Would you rather have, like, let's just say Devastator? Would you rather have the individual bots be better articulated with the combiner being more limited, or would you rather have a fully, as possible or as appropriate, posable combiner with limited individuals?
Hold on
I
one second.
think people are buying it for the combined mode. So I think they'd probably focus. They would focus on the combiner more than anything. What do you think?
Me,
And I
it would be
apologize for
combiner.
I just got home.
Combiner.
That's okay.
I care about the combiner always.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Jeff wants to know what you're eating.
Malto meal Rice Krispies.
Rice
Cereal.
Krispies, cereal, breakfast for
Yeah.
dinner. Then
Yeah, I just got home. I haven't had anything since breakfast, so I figured, something simple. I don't want to eat too much before I go to bed.
I understand. All right. We still got a few minutes left. E, you got a topic you want to talk about?
No, let's see if Joe has one.
I just got home.
He just got home, and remember, he wasn't going to be here originally, so he didn't prepare. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I mean, I can throw stuff out, but what I've like my back burner stuff is like more, probably more a little bit more than what we want to get into. But I know if I can speak on Gort's topic, if it was what it was in the chat about like what's your first or things like that, was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your influences and things like that.
Influences. So I'll get the elephant out of the room out of the way first. It's gonna be Transformers. I don't know what got me into it. I have no clue. I don't ever remember getting first figures. I remember always having Bumblebee, Hoist with no wheels and no accessories, and Dirge. And I remember having his accessories, but never at one time. Like I would have the wings and maybe a fist, but then I would lose that fist, but I'd find both missiles, that kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
when I got older, I was a little bit more responsible. And then I was like, oh, all of this, and I would also be like, I wonder what this fist goes to. And I never really knew. And I'm like, oh, it goes to this. I wonder what, and then once I realized, that helped. So in terms of, kids growing up, like it was those things. I never remember what got me into it. Like, I don't know if it was my parents that thought this would be cool. I don't know if it was just me seeing it. I have no clue how I got into Transformers, but I know it was like once I was in, I was in. And then I think in my mind, I want to say the toys came first because I brought it up, so I won't harp on it too much, but I never saw them as they were actually on TV. I just went to my local video store and found the boxes and then watched them from that. But then I got some Ghostbuster figures, the old ones that you can see right above me here, right?
Yep.
One where like the Energon pack, so I had the little plastic thing that you twirled. Like I remember having those and I remember liking them, but what really got me into that line was when I got Ecto 1. And I don't know what was it about the car, but I don't know, dude. That just kind of slapped. And then my aunt got me like the Firehouse. Wish I still had that. But as an adult, I've talked about this. I've gotten into the Motu stuff, right? And I don't know, it's just something about it, like with the Masterverse stuff, that I started messing with when I started watching the Revelation stuff. I was like, I like kind of where this is going. I like the animation style, and I remember seeing like I was at my brother's house and he had some stuff and I was messing with that and kind of looking at it. I'm like, I really like this. And so I started getting some of the Masterverse stuff. And then that led me back in time to going back and watching the original cartoons, going back and getting some, and, you know, I know Origins is not the same as, but you know, I mean, it's a fairly good, you know, comparison. You know, I started going into the origin stuff. So then it's, you know, now, and so as a kid, you know, it's that stuff that now affects me up to this day. Whereas now as an adult, I've got something that's got me going back to stuff that was in the 80s to collect those things. You know, I think I've just always liked like robot stuff in terms of that. Cause like, you know, as a kid, I remember being into Robotech. And I think that was like, I messed with the toys at my cousin's house. You know, and then like you would find random shows, episodes here and there, but like I never really had a full list of anything in terms of Robotech until I got the stuff that on the big DVD box. Like, remember Suncoast in the malls? They were
Yeah.
still, you know, them, and I got some of the like the, you know, what would be not Yellow Park, but you know, it's like action figure style Veritech fighters. They're non-transformable. You know, the gun pod comes off and things like that. But I guess that's that. Unless there was more to it, Gord, that you had that I could add in. But
So
I mean, like that's the short of it. It's like the influences, like if, you know, specific people or, you know, anything that got you into stuff, your first whatever. But that's more or less it.
So here, I couple things real quick. First question: Are Origins the missing link of Motu?
yes,
Yeah.
Did Takara get the idea of missing link from Origins? Do you think? Because they were
No.
coming out first.
No,
no,
I don't think so.
You don't.
I mean,
you don't think they saw what they were doing with the vintage '80s toys?
no.
Same exact mold, same exact thing, but add articulation.
Well,
That's a good idea. What if we do this with Transformers? Because
Mhm.
remember, Origins have been out for years. They started way sooner than Missing Link did.
Well, I would ask how much do people give a shit about He-Man in Japan, but I mean, I guess you're aware of what other people.
It's
putting
not
out,
so
right? The
much
competition.
of. It's not so much of. Oh, He-Man. More of. Oh, look at this idea.
I don't think Japan cares or has attention towards it at all.
yeah.
I mean, I could see it, but yeah, I don't know. Like what Gort said, I don't know if they care enough. Go ahead, Joseph.
Is it probable? Yes. Is it? Do I think that's what happened? Probably not. Because I mean, I remember for, you know, at least a decade, people talking about, well, what if they redid the old molds with better stuff like that? You know, just in
But you hear it for all toys.
stuff like that, huh?
I've heard it for all things. I've heard it from
and-
Motu too, as being a Motu fan.
Yeah.
Imagine
And I
if the
wouldn't hear that.
originals had articulation. People have always bitched that the original toys didn't have articulation. But you know, my point is, it's kind of coincident. I don't know. I don't know how much I believe in a coincidence here.
Well, I mean, it could be one of those things too of like the well's running dry. What else? What other ideas do we got? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess could they have talked to Hasbro? Maybe like Hasbro looked at the Origins line and they came up with it together. I don't know how it came about. I really don't. I'd like to wonder if there was a conversation between Hasbro and Takara, because I don't know. I just don't know. Again, we're in another country at this point. Like I know He-Man is not that popular over there, but who knows?
Doesn't mean the companies don't know. You can't
Yeah.
companies are always keep an eye on their competition, right?
Yeah.
You know, and again, it's not about being a He-Man fan in overseas. It's more like, look at what Mattel did with their license that they own on their old, one of the biggest toy lines of all times in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how they brought it back. I definitely think there was a conversation there.
Was Origins the first of its kind? I'm trying to think if
I
there's
don't
anything
know.
before
I
that.
don't fucking know. I couldn't tell you that.
I mean, anything's possible. I don't know, but
Is G.I. Joe classified the missing link of 3.75?
No,
yet?
no. But they're not. It's not. It's not.
It's almost arguably a line that didn't really need that treatment either.
No.
But you could,
No.
you could at best worst you can, and it's still not really right. But the 25th line for G.I. Joe is the closest.
Yeah,
that
and
they might
still
have.
they still
And
changed it. They
they're not
changed the
the same
designs.
Yeah,
They changed the height. You know, so it was a little different than
yeah,
what
it's really
what
it.
even Origins has made some changes to color palettes at the very least. Minor, but you know, my main thing I wanted to ask was Mattel announced their yearly live stream coming up in March.
I'm looking forward to this. Like, if last year was any kind of hint of what we're gonna get this year,
I mean,
I saw stuff that
last year's was just very comedic to watch, to say the
Yeah.
least. Very comedic to watch. With this, I guess, what are you guys expecting from or hoping from this live stream this year?
again, I'm
Keeping
hoping
in mind that this is a movie year for Motu.
what
Ooh,
Motu
yeah.
line is going to have a crossover with some other property?
Oh, what did we see? A Scooby Doo tag?
Yeah, coming soon to a Ross near you.
To Ross, here you.
I might be in on that. If nothing, I don't know if it's. I quickly saw the pictures. So I didn't have time to sit and look at them and see if it was AI or something. You know, somebody was actually, whatever. But I'm like, if that was a thing, I might actually be in on that.
I think with being a movie year, you're going to see a lot of Motu related movie stuff. That's why I think it's going to be the main focus,
Yeah,
at least for
Yeah.
Motu.
yeah. I mean, you're going to have like the kid grade collectible, like the Hulk hand kind of deal, right? But with that, but I think you're going to see like the collector edition aimed at adults, $300, Sword of Omens and stuff like that. Not Sword of Omens. What the fuck?
What do
You know
you
what I
think, E?
Well, I think we'll see more about Masterverse this year than last year. They didn't even mention Masterverse last year. It was all Origin shit for their Motu live stream.
Was it?
Yes, it was. It was
I
all
could've
Origins.
I could have swore there was a couple at least.
How deep? How
Maybe
what-
Blade, the Masterverse Blade. I think was announced.
Maybe. I thought that was Toy Fair. I thought Blade was done in Toy Fair, which is also
I think
in less than a
he's
month.
Mossman too. I don't remember. I have to go back and watch that.
How much more do they got to go in Masterverse?
Oh, well, I mean, there's a fair amount.
Sorceress, Orko, or two big holes.
Sorcerers, Orko, the rest of the Horde.
Snake
haven't-
Men.
Done the Snake Men yet. And then you have your offshoots, your Rock-Ons, your Stone Dars, your Rotar and Twistoids. And
Okay, so
Princesses.
there's a fair amount to still go.
Gotcha.
They have not touched on a single vehicle yet in that scale,
I don't think they're going to.
which I think
They
is
really
a
don't.
mistake. I think it's a big mistake. And then you have all those offshoots, those Geldors and type characters. I mean, if you look how deep they went in Origins, definitely there's a lot more that they can do in Masterverse, and people are buying them. So it pisses me off that they move so slow on this shit. But
I don't think we're going to see it. I would like to see some kind of what their DC is going to be, their line's going to be like. Like, I wish they would talk about that a little bit.
I don't think that was mentioned in the product snapshot.
Yeah,
that
I don't
they
think-
gave
I
us.
think you'll
it's
see
too
that
early
next
for
year.
that. It's too early
Yeah,
for
you'll
that.
have it next year. You'll probably get some of those Hot Wheels Transformer crossovers.
Well, I mean, we had that leak of the first wave of DC that's supposed to be coming out this year in June. So
6.5-inch figures, so they are going full scale.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm Thank you. Got my wish.
Well, we'll see. They're not going to fit with your Marvel Legends at 6.5.
That's fine.
You know, for all those people, this is going to probably be. Yeah, I think they're going to use these Motu molds. You're going to get He-Man in a Batman suit.
I think you're wrong because look at their WWE line. They're not we're using Motu molds over there. So
Then maybe you're going to get The Rock in a Batman suit. Then I mean,
God, don't give him ideas. I don't want him to play in that movie. I've said this before. I really wish they would just copy how Hasbro does it. Like have a specific stream they're doing, like Motu this week, and then a couple weeks later you see your Barbie, and then a couple more weeks you see your WWE or your DC.
I think Mattel misses out. Yes, and they're making the mistake. It is something that I think Hasbro does very well that I appreciate of them is their live streams throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean it gets you more excited for this shit.
So is this
like
their
the
like
name
one
drops and all
done?
that?
They usually do just one a year thing. They don't do. You'll get something you'll see reveals at Toy Fair. You'll see reveals at San Diego. But they don't do live streams like this throughout the year the way Hasbro does.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do something, you're gonna
They're
like
missing out.
I don't know. I think if you're going to kind of go that route, do like a big overview early in the year, and then March will be this, and and then break it down by your lines.
Yeah, like this, like it's something I appreciate Hasbro gives us.
Yeah.
Like I know my Lifeline is coming. I know we're getting one of the Cobra Trooper. I appreciate this. It keeps me interested in the line that's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't make me sit through the Little People Big World panel to get the Motu. Just stop it. Don't do that to me.
Take those adult collector lines and do the live streams on them for the adult collectors. They're the ones who are watching the look. It's not the 10-year-olds are not buying these Masterverse figures. The 10-year-olds are not buying G.I. Joe classifieds.
No.
They're a small percentage of it. Hasbro has realized that. I don't think the 10-year-olds are out there be like, oh my God, missing Link Optimus Prime. I don't.
No, I agree.
They're like, that doesn't look like Optimus Prime from the 2007 movie.
Good.
Exactly, but that's
another topic for another
that's
day.
a topic for another day.
All right, we're at about an hour and a half. Anyone got anything else to add before we close shop?
So I'll throw in a quick. What's your go-to breakfast cereal? And do you do cereal milk or milk then cereal?
I haven't. Plot.
don't really get
cereal,
cereal.
then milk, and then push the cereal in the milk. I like it all to be a little bit wet. Then I start eating it.
What's your go-to cereal though?
Honey Nut Cheerios right now.
Classic. Yeah, I don't eat cereal regularly enough to really answer that question, Joseph.
Anymore? No, yeah.
And
It's okay. I'm just disappointed.
I will say that I was a cereal then milk guy.
Yeah, it's always cereal than milk.
Okay.
Are you doing opposite?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, screw no. I'm not weird.
Okay.
I'm not that. I'm gonna rephrase it. I'm not that weird.
I bet I know someone who does milk and cereal.
Who?
The same people that stand up to wipe.
Same people that put peanut butter and mayo on sandwiches.
Well, like what else? Like you pour your milk, then your coffee, or what cream or whatever the hell you use.
Yes. So So I will put my sugar in. If I'm going sugar and cream, I'll put my sugar in, then the coffee, stir it, mix it up, and then while it's still spinning, pour in the creamer. If I'm at like Sheets and I'm getting like the little creamer, like caramel macchiato creamers or something like that, they go in, and then the coffee goes in, so it stirs up as it goes up.
You're so fancy. I got a question. Frosted Rice Krispies. When did this come out? I don't remember Frosted Rice Krispies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a while.
Is that a new one or an oldie?
not new.
It's new in the grand scheme of things, but it's not like it came out 2 years recently new. It's been around a while.
Is Frosted Rice Krispies just Rice Krispie treats broken down smaller?
No, it's like Frosted Flakes, but Rice Krispies.
That's just how it sounds to me.
Although Rice
Yeah.
Krispie
It's
treats
all the
made
same
of Frosted
sugar
Rice
shit.
Krispies has now piqued my interest.
My go-to cereal back in the day was whoever had the best prize in the box that particular month.
So,
Yeah, because it was I could eat Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, Captain Crunch, Frosted Flakes. So yeah,
I remember getting excited when you know like the little box of like here's 8-pack and it's a variety pack of cereal. Like if you went to someone's
Yeah.
house and like they had that, it was like, like y'all got that, because that was always like to me that was always just the coolest thing. I do, I'll be honest with you, I do miss like a good toy in a box. That is not,
all my toys come in boxes. I don't know what you're talking about.
you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
All right, so if
Every
you
time I
got-
order a toy, it comes in a box. So
if you got let me ask you a question. If you got a box of cereal with a toy in it, did you finish the box of cereal first, or did you dig in and grab
fuck
the toy?
no. Fuck no.
So until I learned to open the box upside down, or like open the box normal, take the bag out, turn the bag upside down, and then open it. Once I got about halfway, then I would go for the like. I did have enough wherewithal to be like not sticking my grubby, nasty hand down this box
Nope.
of cereal that
Nope.
I was
My hand was
definitely a savage.
elbow
I just-
deep.
Yeah.
elbow deep.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of crushed cereal in my house.
Yeah, Jeff, the wacky wall walkers. Like I had an octopus, and that thing was cool. That thing was
I remember
awesome
wacky
until it
wall
lost its
walkers.
sticky.
I don't remember getting reflector signs for your bike. I don't. What cereal? Was
Yeah, they
that?
used to. Yeah, not like like the little things that would go on your wheels.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm trying.
That
Courtney's-
reflector from Transformers.
Courtney's still got somewhere. She had like the I think it was like one of those mail-ins. You clip the stuff, and 6 to 8 weeks later, you got your crap. But the Dig'em Frog bowl, and then like the spoon that you got with the box of cereal of Dig'ems or Smacks.
Are those old school mascots still around, like the Cocoa Puffs bird? And I know
Yeah.
Tony the Tigers, obviously, but like they still like.
Yeah, and think about it. What all do you not see commercials for that you kind of used to? Like I don't remember the last time I saw a cereal commercial.
Same here, but I think that has more to do with the fact that I'm not watching that type of channel, like a kids
I
channel.
yeah,
anymore.
I don't.
'Cause that's
notice
where
it.
you used to see it.
Well,
Like, I don't think-
adult cereal. When's the last time you saw some some oat brand cereal for the captain?
I think they do Special K cereals commercials.
not having cable for the many years, probably it's been a while since I've seen an actual cereal commercial.
Yeah.
Who was the best mascot, food team, cereal mascot?
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch, Gort,
Crunch.
Chat Squad, join in.
I don't know. I kind of like them all. I don't. Trying to. Yeah, I don't know.
I
I was a big
fan.
Frankenberry fan. I was a big Frankenberry fan too.
I like
I can't go with
Frankenberry,
Captain
Blueberry and
Crunch.
stuff, but
That's
they
stolen valor.
they weren't really in the commercials too much.
I like the Cookie Crisp thief in the
Ooh,
cop.
crisp.
Cookie
Cookie
Crisp.
Crisp.
Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, I remember when I got to try that for the first time as a kid. Like I was expecting this, like I don't know, like and then I tried it and I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, I wasn't a big Cookie Crisp fan.
Yeah.
I love
The,
Cookie
act- of
Crisp.
the actual cereal itself.
What was the bear?
I kind of want to say I liked Trix commercials. Maybe I don't know. I feel like I
Tricks are for kids.
particular one.
I
just
those
like all
always
the
made me
little
mad. 'Cause I was
mascots.
like, just give him the fucking cereal. Just fucking share.
I always liked Toucan Sam and then the Snap Crackle and Pop.
Oh, the Rice Krispies guys.
Rice Krispies.
And that's not why I'm eating Rice Krispies. I eat those because they're lower in calories than most other cereal. So
You know, I remember there was Count Chocula, there was Frankenberry, and then there was the Ghost.
Blueberry.
blueberry.
He never got his own commercial. Do you know that? In the 80s, I never saw a Blueberry commercial. I always saw the other two. I wonder why that is.
There's two more too. There's a werewolf and
Those came out later, though, right?
yeah. I can't remember. There was another one. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a female character.
What was the
Maybe
bear? There was a bear. Golden Crisp? That bear? What was that bear's
Golden
name?
Crisp.
What was that bear's name?
I don't know. I got the Google. I'll find out.
Yeah, there was Snap. This should be our next bracket.
No.
Best
No.
cereal mascot.
No more brackets. The people ruined the idea of brackets. We're not doing brackets again.
His name is Sugar Bear.
You guys don't know how to act.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea.
Sugar
of,
Bear. That's it.
I like the idea of doing the cereal show, and as Brian said, maybe we can find one of those psychopaths to explain milk first.
Hey Jeff, we have this toy in the house. By the way, it's awesome. Yeah, along with the other two.
You don't think about that. Like, imagine making a sandwich. You're like, let me just grab a big wad of like cold cuts,
Yeah.
and let me just slather on some mayo and mustard on that, and then let me just put some bread around that. Now, who the?
Not quite the
some
same,
asshole doing
but-
that. No, it's not the same. It's the wrong order. Can't do that.
Agreed. All right. Cereal. That was a fun discussion. I think we should. Yeah, we're at what, an hour and a half. I think we can call it.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
dude, the Jada Toys, Fred and Barney. I am so getting them for the free. Like that is one of my all time. Like I know it's Christmas is over, but I think more of the Flintstones now as the Fruity Pebbles Christmas commercials. So I'm definitely getting those two figures when they come out. I've already got them pre-ordered.
I don't know which figures you're talking about, but I have to look it up.
I've seen them. Joe, were you a Fruity Pebbles or a Cocoa Crisp kind of guy?
He was definitely fruity.
Nah,
Yeah, and still am.
got him.
Let's see here. I know you're getting ready to sign us off. Give me a second here.
I'll take your time.
Present, share screen, bada bing. Nope, that's not what I want to share. That. So they're doing one with Fred there. Very happy. Bonnie. Yeah, I got my pebbles. You know.
I remember.
Y'all are
this.
seeing this,
Yeah,
right?
I've seen it.
Yeah, so they're doing a Barney one too.
Does he come with a bowl? And okay, that's cool.
Yeah. And maybe, someone like Tyler could 3D print a beard maybe, so you can redo the Christmas commercials. Is there any other ones?
I don't remember these Christmas commercials.
Oh my. Wow. They're there. Stop sharing.
Jada also did the the Chester Cheetah.
Yep, Lou's
And,
got that one. He loves it.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. Like, there's something about, I don't know. Like, it's just like the Hershey Kiss Christmas commercial. Like it's one of those things.
I think if I Googled it and watched it, I think I'd go, that one. I think I know what you're talking about. But
Jada also did the Frosty the Snowman figure,
Mm-hmm.
which was very, very well done.
Jada makes a good product. I'd like to see more from them. I'm really into their Mega Man line. Maybe they
I
can
want
do
more of
Mask.
this
Maybe they
Christmas
can do
stuff.
Mask better.
Maybe. I want more of those Rankin Bass Christmas stuff now at this point.
I'm sure you'll get it.
Yeah.
Those are classic. All right. Well, on that note, I think we're gonna call it. We will probably we're doing an after hangout tonight. We're gonna post the link
Yeah.
in the group. So, but yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll be back next week with a hangout. So we hope you join us for that. Let's take a quick trip around the yard, see where we can find everyone. Prime, where can the people find you?
You can find me every Friday.
Gort, where can the people find you?
I don't know. Here on Fridays, or if you're feeling dangerous. I'm going to Secaucus tomorrow for the Totally Rad Vintage Fest.
What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know, some big like thrifty vintage bullshit show. I got suckered into this one.
was
My
gonna say,
sister's going and a bunch of people I know from high
enthusiasm.
school, so go check it out.
Joseph.
You can find me here at least every other Friday. I try to make the hangouts as I can. You can find me in the Roma Collectors group. Check us out over there. Check out the merch shop, but I think everyone in chat knows about that already. So, and just here hanging out with my buddies. Wolfie, where can we find you?
You can
Other than
find
on a
me-
poster in a local post office.
You can find me, Eric Von Wolfenstein, on all your social media needs. Perhaps coming soon to a town near you. Of course, Friday
Do they
nights
get 24
here for
notice?
the- Yes.
They do? Okay.
I've every Friday here on the Real Manhattan Project or the ROC broadcasting hangout. So thanks, Chat Squad, for joining us, and we will see you next week. Look for the after hangout link in the groups. Until then, peace out.
Say it with me now. Real